Right now, the Earth is 1.2 degrees Celsius hotter than it was before the Industrial Revolution. That doesn't sound like much until you realize the last ice age was only 5 degrees colder. Welcome to the Climate Action Panel.
I'm Dr. Maya Chen, climate scientist and renewable energy researcher. I've spent 15 years studying how fast clean energy is scaling, and honestly, the progress is more remarkable than most people realize. The data gives me real hope.
And I'm Dr. James Okafor, environmental policy analyst and former UN climate negotiator. I've watched governments make promises for 2 decades. My perspective? The science is clear, but the political will is dangerously lagging behind. Maya, let's start with you. Solar energy costs have dropped over 90% in the last decade. Is that the breakthrough we needed? Because from where I sit, emissions are still rising globally despite all this progress.
James, that's exactly the paradox. Cheap solar is replacing coal faster than anyone predicted. But here's what the headlines miss. Renewables now account for 30% of global electricity. A decade ago, that number was under 5%.
But Maya, electricity is only 25% of global emissions. What about steel, cement, aviation, shipping? Those industries are barely touched by the clean energy revolution. That's where I lose sleep at night.
That's a fair challenge, James. But green hydrogen and electric arc furnaces are already decarbonizing steel in Europe. The technology exists. The real question is, can policy scale it fast enough? And that's actually your territory.
Exactly, and that's my core argument. The Paris Agreement targets are legally binding for 196 countries. But current pledges only get us to 2.7 degrees of warming by 2100. We need 1.5. The gap is enormous.
The gap is real, James. I won't argue that. But look at what's changed in just 5 years. The U.S. Inflation Reduction Act unlocked $370 billion for clean energy. China is installing more solar in 1 year than the rest of the world combined.
So here's the big question. What's your prediction for 2050? Maya, you first. Will we hit net zero, fall short, or surprise ourselves? Because the audience deserves a real answer, not a diplomatic one.
My prediction, we miss 1.5 degrees, but we land closer to 2 than 3. Technology will outpace policy, and that's actually a reason for cautious optimism. James, I think even you'd agree the worst-case scenarios are becoming less likely.
I'd agree on that. My prediction, we'll face a decade of painful climate impacts, but they'll finally force the political will we've been waiting for. The planet doesn't negotiate. And in the end, neither will we.